resistance on the 4 hours. So.
I don't even know what EJ is doing.
Yeah. Well, didn't trade EJ for more than 2 weeks now, I think.
Then remove EJ, man.
Yeah.
Remove
I was
EJ.
just looking.
No, you don't even have to look. Listen, if you have a wife, are you gonna look at another girl and tell her, "Oh no, I'm just looking"? She'll say, "What?"
Good morning, mate. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you, Chris?
Yeah, good, mate. Thank you.
So seems like gold came back in.
Yeah.
1510.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
This fucker, man, it can't break it.
Wait, this is my charts. I sent you my analysis. I caught gold buys this morning.
Oh,
that was my only trade for the day.
Nice.
Yeah, I managed to get. I've got a couple of runners from 1510. It's a little sell, but yeah, I still think we're going up.
Wow. Man, I really want to take GJ buys. I don't want to miss these buys.
Well, I wanted
now?
No, not now.
Oh. I was looking at it earlier on. I've been waiting for ages.
Yeah, because I mean it. Okay, so this is what GJ did here. GJ, it had a resistance here. It had resistance here, resistance here. So these levels, they become your recent resistances. Then this guy broke out.
Yeah.
Now for it to do a retest, this 30-minute candle has to close above that area. You know, if it does, we go up. But if it closes back inside, then I think it's going to do a retest and then head back down, because that move up will be a fake out.
Yeah, back in the thorns.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. I'll just be careful with the GBP today, man. There's a lot going on over here at the minute.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. A bit of volatility for later night.
I took a buy. I'm going to put 1% on this. I'm going to put 1% on this. My total risk for today is 3%. So I'm using 1% on this one here. If it starts to come down, I'll close it, no problem. But if it starts to go up with confirmations, then I'm going to add the rest of the percentage. Oh, come on. Who's in the fucking toilet?
It could be potentially making good support on the 5 minute currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only kind of like betting on the fact that this candle will stay up.
Yeah.
Kind of goes against the traditional trading advice, but like, you know, this includes my experience and things I've seen.
Yeah. And the wicks kind of at the minute are looking good as well. The bottom ones coming off that zone below.
Yeah.
So you're expecting a push for 7 o'clock, is it?
No, I'm just expecting it to continue bullish and 15 minute to close. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. Because if this closes above, then, you know, it's a buy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where the fuck is my music? Someone's trying to do a video call. Don't stop me now. Do you have a plan for upgrade resolution from 720 to 180? No. I have no plans to do that. I don't even know how to do that. So this is the highest resolution that you're gonna get. Oh, I can go 1080. Interesting. Let's see here. Someone is selling gold 30 minute. Makes sense, makes sense. You got a stop loss. I think your stop, yeah, I think stop is good because it's above in this range, so that's good. 30 minute. Yeah, I'd have my stop above here. I'd have my stop above the 30-minute candle on gold. There is CPI.
Yeah, it's a big busy day today, I think.
Yeah, busy day. Euro.
Yep. Euro stuff. We've got Boris having a chat with the Irish guy, the president, whatever he's called.
Oh, with the Irish.
Yeah, you know the whole backstop problem. They're basically discussing that behind closed doors this morning. So if there's a resolution in regards to that, then that could easily push the pound either way pretty quick. If there's any kind of news from that, I would have thought. So yeah, a lot going on today.
Nice, exciting day today.
We're going to sit down and have a Guinness probably and have a chit chat.
Guinness.
Yeah, well that's their thing, Irish, isn't it? Guinness.
Love Guinness.
Wickfield GJ. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking at too. Just gotta wait for this candle to close. Other than that, I don't think anything is gonna happen, especially on gold till CPI.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of consolidation.
Yeah, because if you look, gold is still ranging under 1510.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This tells me two things: whether if above 1510 is a very, very important price level that it just can't break up.
That's why I decided. I kind of went against my bias, but that's why I decided to take a little sell this morning from 1510 because of what it's been doing and the way the wicks have formed so far. I still see we're going up, but after the news and stuff.
So bad. What numbers they're expecting? They're expecting bad numbers. Bad numbers for core CPI. Man, if numbers are bad, gold is going to shoot up.
The thing is as well, you got Trump doing their trade tariff stuff today as well, so I open the talks again to that, I think he said. So
yeah, that's true.
that's going to be an important day for that because there was talk of them doing some kind of basically keeping the currency the same, like a freeze on currency for them for trade, so that the prices don't change so much for them, or some kind of deal. But yeah, I have to wait and see.
Ooh, it's moving up. Alright. This should continue moving up now.
Yeah, see that support on the 5 minutes look really good.
That is perfect.
Yep, that's a great shout.
Yeah, re-entered on GJ here.
Yeah, that's a great touch, mate. Good effort.
Yeah, EJ is pushing up as well.
Yep, gold's gone down and yeah, it's all worked pretty well. I've got a 50 pick runner on gold. I don't know what to do with.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure what to do. Because every time, same as I'm in TED Talk, you're going to get stopped out at some point. But...
Well, at least it's still running.
Yeah, for sure. It just took a lovely little drop. So.
Are you not going to secure some?
Yeah, I've secured like 90% of what I put on in the first place. This is like just like a 10% of my overall stake in the first place. It's just still going. But
Nice.
I kind of wish I kept the whole thing going because I would have been. Well, I was just playing with the profits from what we did last night with just catching the buys, just on an agent open. So I was just playing with that really. That's why I went against the buy, so I didn't mind taking a little hit if I got it wrong. But at 15-10 levels were very strong.
This is awesome. Created a high, came down, creating a support, back up.
Yeah, it was good.
This would be a good trade.
What are you looking for your target? Filling wicks, or are you looking?
Yeah, probably like 131, 750.
Yep.
900.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Created a high. Now this is great because if it keeps closing above this level, this makes sense for it to continue moving up.
Yeah.
This way, and hopefully with momentum we could reach 131, 900. Everyone is selling gold, but gold will go up like every time. I don't think everyone's selling gold there.
I kind of get that because I played off that 15-10 level, but that's not the way I think we're going.
Morning, fellas.
Hey, good morning, Simon.
How we doing?
Great.
Good.
Great.
I'm in GJ buys already.
I am in GJ buys too.
Good man.
Good man, good. Yeah, this should head up. I mean, everything's pointing up.
Yeah, I don't like all those shoot wicks
Yeah.
Yeah,
from all those like spikes.
yeah, it puts you off a little bit, that, but it's trying.
I'm taking it based off of the 1 hour, like the 1 hour candle broke through that resistance.
Yes.
This is like done the retest.
So you're kind of expecting 1 hour to continue bullish here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I'm expecting a 30-minute to continue, 15-minute closed. I'm expecting to continue moving up.
Yeah, especially the way it's created the support as well. Because now we're looking on 4 minutes and breaking away from that as well.
Ooh, someone sent me an email. We request your assistant to help us investing £15 million.
What, do you want my bank details now, or?
Yeah, probably later on once I start replying to them.
Okay, man.
What a scam.
Yeah. There's so much of that about nowadays.
What's this? Raja. GJ is respecting the support. Does it mean if it continues doing that, it will go up? Yes. That's exactly what it means. Hey, Nicole in the house. Standing by for GJ Longs. Well, one thing I can tell everybody is that make sure Thursday is not your last trading day for the month. A lot of people lose a lot of money in small sessions. Would you say 131 is a safe stop level? Yeah, I think a safe stop level on GJ right now, there's 10 minutes left for the 30-minute candles to close, would be around 131,500. That's around 10 pips from here. And then you're targeting probably, you know, like 131,750. And then if you have a runner running, it could go to 131,900. But for the bias to work, it has to stay above 131,500. That's the condition you're putting on the trade. You know, so if you take a buy and you don't put a stop loss and price moves down and you still hope it's going to go up, you should quit trading because it's not going to work. That's not how trading works, man.
Man, gold is a total joke right now.
Yeah, man.
Gold is a joker.
Yep.
You can't trade that right now.
No.
4 hours, just barcode central.
Bullshit, man.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Popped above 1510 and came right back down.
Yeah. Messy setup, Kerwin. There's no setup. It's just straight consolidation.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a patience game for sure. For that, like we said this morning, Simon, that just a big move at some stage. Just got to be ready for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just got to wait for that 1510 to break or 1500 pretty much.
Yep.
What do you think about that candle to the left on GJ on October 9th? Listen, man, there's a lot of candles to the left on GJ. You have to send a chart because I cannot read your mind. Why do people think we're mind readers? October 9th, there are, on this chart, there are a lot of candles on October 9th. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Ooh, we have some over here too. All these October 9 candles. That's why, you know, it says on the screen, send a chart.
Which time frame? Which time frame he's asking?
Exactly, which time frame? When did the candle happen? You have to be very specific. You know, it's like when you map out a trade, you have to be very, very, very specific when you map out your trade. And you need to know exactly what the outcome is going to be. What's going to happen when it hits your stop loss? How much you're going to lose when it hits your stop loss? Those things are to be defined before you plan to take a trade. It's the same thing as when you say, oh, look at that candle on October 9th. Which candle? You know, you have to be very, very, very specific. Don't trade gold for the rest of the week. Yeah, look at that gold, man. Damn.
You do put that on there, Ad. I just noticed it.
No, I
That's Ted.
I don't want to hear people talking about gold.
I do, Ted. Morning.
I just if I see people ask about gold one more time, I'm just gonna lose my mind because
There's no trade on gold.
there's no trade on gold today. There will not be. You already saw what happened last night. There was conflicting reports within 20 minutes that one person said this and then they said no, it's wrong.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in for a big pain threshold or a big pain point if you turn around and try and trade gold right now.
Oh,
That
man.
and the fact that the trade talks are actually officially starting to talk today. So,
Today, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what me and Son was saying earlier on. I didn't know if you heard.
Yeah.
His name. So it's it's a no-go zone. I mean, I kind of had a little hunch earlier on, just playing on 15.10 as a small sell, just for a bit of a
yeah.
playing with some of the profits from yesterday. To be fair,
Oh yeah. No,
And it worked pretty well.
you're not going to get anything.
no.
Just don't trade gold for the rest of the week. Just let it do what it needs to do. There's enough to go either to 1550 or down to 1480. There's enough room for you to catch a trade with gold like next week. Trust me, you have more than enough room. So don't. Today is a no-go because as soon as the news starts coming out or there's some people discussing something, it's donezo.
Yeah, all it takes is one comment from anyone.
Yep.
It's just going to be game over.
Yeah, and you literally have to be hoping that you're on the right side when
Yeah,
you're
it's
entering
not-
that trade.
It's a flick of coin job. You can't predict none of that.
Because last night was a perfect example. They said that trade talks were going good with China, and then they said no, they were lying, and then it's like, jeez.
Oh, it was horrible, man. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, it was a hell of a job.
so many people took buys when the 30-minute candle closed bullish above 1510.
Yep.
They're like, we're going up. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, not
Yeah, what's more annoying is I had buys from 1504, but I didn't have a TP.
Oh.
So it went all the way up to 1516. I didn't even, obviously, and then it came straight back down.
Yep.
I was like, shit. So I think I ended up closing about 1508 or something.
I think my pendings were 08, or not out of 7.8, I think it was. Which is, I just left it, I even closed one that went exactly to 15.12. I closed one early because I thought I had boring now, I just want to watch TV. I looked at the chart and the other one worked, I thought, no way. But, yeah, fair few jumps.
Alright, GJ has stopped me out to break even. I think this could come down to sort of 46, 45 before potentially bouncing, but let's see.
Ooh.
It doesn't look good though.
Nope. No retest, no trade. Bum, bum, bum. Now see, I was looking for buys and it's coming down, so I'm not gonna change my mind and take sells and say this was a fake out because I was looking for buys. I already conditioned my mind to take buys and now it's coming down, so my trade idea is invalid.
Let's see, let me just draw on here a second. You just put the 1 hour on, yeah, see, in theory the retest like range could be anywhere in here, so like I said, it could reject a bit around here, but
Here's the 1 hour.
yeah, exactly, so that's
Yeah.
the 1 hour, so you see it could come, let me just clear that one, it could come, retest range could be down here. So I'm kind of thinking as long as we stay above sort of, what is it, 46, 45 area, should be okay. But I think the best thing now is, like you said, wait for like a 15-minute candle to flip bullish or something, because they're all bearish at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now they're bearish. They might do a retest, might not. Not really sure. So the best thing is to, like, if you're looking for buy, yeah, you're right, Simon. Just wait for a candle to close bullish. But on the other end, someone's in sells, so that's pretty good. That's what makes the market move.
Because there was GBP data this morning as well.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few moves there.
Mix of good and bad. Watch this. If this confirms as support after candles close, price may go up to fill the range. Yes, that was my idea basically. That's a nice big screen you got there.
But we got US CPI today, and my prediction is if it comes in as expected or lower, then the US dollar is going to sell off pretty hard, because that's pretty much going to signify a rate cut next month for sure.
They're talking about that this morning. There's even a forgiven as well. So
Yeah, I mean, because if you read the FOMC statement last night, basically the majority of the members cited the reason for the cut. Obviously, last month was the lack of pickup in inflation. So if that continues to not pick up after obviously the most recent cut, then you would imagine they'll probably be looking to cut again, try and bring that inflation up to their 2% target, because it's way off at the moment.
yeah, I think they're going to need to. I was watching Bloomberg this morning. They said exactly the same kind of thing. You know, the big ones are kind of, they're not spot on, but they've got it like a 90% chance they're going to have to do a cut.
Yeah, because the data's crap that's coming out of the US at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I've got printing more money, that's why.
You know, they're talking about employment is at all-time low, but they're talking about, you know, are they at, you know, full employment now? Like, it's unlikely it's gonna, you know, get any better.
Yeah.
So it's all the focus is on growth and, you know, inflation and stuff now.
It's only about problem with credit as well. I was trying to get into that at some point today. I realised that was a big problem.
Hey Chris, your mic is a little low.
Again?
Yeah, it's a little low.
I'm sure you're doing this on purpose, so I'll go and buy another mic again.
No, Simon's is perfect. Ted's is perfect.
God damn it.
Gold, please make me happy again. Gold will not make you happy because gold is stuck. Look at this 4 hour. How can gold make you happy, man? Gold is running around in circles. Literally broke 1510 on 3rd October, came back down, broke again on 4th, broke again on 6th, broke again on 9th, broke again yesterday, and came back down. Gold is like that girl at the bar who gives you hints all the time. You buy her a drink and then she walks away.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny for people that haven't traded gold really for that long. This is normal for gold. It has good movement, and then what it does is it just sort of consolidates for a while, and then afterwards it'll have good movement again. You just have to get used to that, and that's why you would just jump over to like another pair that's a little bit that's trending, and work on that, and let gold do its thing until it comes back. But the problem is people don't want to do that because they think that they're going to miss the move on gold, and you're not going to miss the move on gold.
No, moves are always big enough.
Because when gold moves, it'll move $5 or $10 very, very easily.
I don't get why people come here to joke around. You have access to established traders and you're thinking around, joking around with you about risk management. Yeah, exactly. You know, put your head in the game. Put your head in the game, or your neck is gonna get stuck in the game. Alright, let's start with UJ. UJ, 4-hour ranging. Excellent analysis here.
Markets are real crap this week.
Yeah, so much uncertainty.
There is not a lot of clear direction on anything.
Oh, there's going to be so much volume over the weekend, Simon. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening this weekend?
This weekend, a lot of shit is going to happen in the weekend.
You think?
I
Boxing's
know it.
going off and...
Yeah, I know it.
Is this China meeting meant to be today and tomorrow, or starts today till next week, or?
It's
It goes on.
it's been
Yeah, it goes on. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything.
I'm
That's
pretty
the fun.
confident you're not going to come up with a deal in the next 2 days, though.
No, that's the fun part about this trade war. Nobody knows when it's going to start. Nobody knows when it's going to end. Nobody knows, other than the talks that are happening right now. That's about it. That they start today. That's what everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
The thing is, there's some talk of it, some of it being completed in February, so it won't just be everything won't just get done in one go. It's going to be continuous for a long
Yeah.
time, I think.
Look at this. Daily FX don't even know what's happening. Look what Daily FX just posted. They posted that gold is making a bullish flag, but for the interim, it could go down.
Posturing, it says. So that basically means I don't know.
Basically, yeah, exactly.
Look at gold. It just ripped up like
Yeah, I was
what?
just going to say.
Whoa.
30 pips?
Yeah.
Screw gold.
Gold.
Like gold's great when it's like in momentum, not in this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can anyone suggest a book for beginner Forex trading? Let's take a look here.
Honestly, like everyone's best bet is go on baby pitch and just do the train, do the school. Like you'll learn
Yeah, man.
everything you need to know to begin with,
Seriously.
Basics, don't you?
and then everything else just comes from experience.
Morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, the way how I started reading books was I just Googled and I just read. Honestly, I picked up every Forex book I could find.
Yeah, I'm not really a reader. I don't like reading. I would rather be a visual learner. So I did baby pits. I did. What else have I read? I've read a few books, but mainly it's just experience on the charts.
Yeah, I think also reading books, people shouldn't be reading the books like they're reading a novel. You should be using those books as textbooks and basically just finding things that you didn't know that you've looked at another book. So like when I used to go through books, it was more of, I know this, but what's that one new point that I didn't know? And write that down.
Yeah.
I think that's what people have to do is, because a lot of the information in most of the books is all the same. And like I always say, it's similar to playing poker. Like you can read like 100 poker books, and most of the poker books give you the same information, but there's one part of the book that is new to you. So then you sort of read out that, and you build on your ideas from there. If you're going to read about support and resistance, you can read 20 books and they all say the same thing. So you wouldn't read that section in that book of support and resistance. That's a mistake people make when they're reading these kind of books, is they read them like a novel front to back. And it's like, you should just be skimming through them and get some information and then, move on to the next book. Like you should be able to finish, 12, 13, 14 books if you're reading like online or something like that. You should be able to do that in like 3 weeks, because most of the books are the same and they're very easy reading. So that's my advice to people who are reading books: is don't read them like a novel, like you're reading a story. Read them like a textbook, and just find pieces of information that you're not, that you don't know about or that you're unsure of, and focus on that.
Yep, that's true. That is absolutely true. They're all textbooks. Like you find small things from different books and then you adjust them towards the way how you want to trade.
Yeah, like just, I mean, when I first got started, I was so keen to like just know everything. I just sucked up every bit of information I could find, you know, reading articles on places like MyFX Book, Forex Live, you know, all the news things. You just learn what's going on in the markets. I just read everything and anything I got my hands on.
Yeah.
But that didn't mold me into the technical trader that I am. It just gave me an idea of, you know, what's moving the market.
Yeah, like if you look at this book, I read some parts of it, and the only thing that resonated with me was on page 181. If we can get there, mate. 181, 142.
Raja, drop that link in the chat too. It's a free ebook.
Yeah, exactly. So it was right here. Yeah, this one. As the rule, the longer the market has been in the range, the more aggressive the outbreak will be.
Yep.
So when you look at gold, look at this range. So you know there's going to be a big breakout.
There we go. 1535. Boom.
And someone asked me, "Oh, how do you know it will always break?" Because I read it in the book. That's how I know. See,
The book will probably tell you it's just accumulation, right? Accumulation of orders.
yeah, like it says right there, why 15 pips above, 15 pips below, all currencies have bid-ask spread, which is between 3 and 5 pips. Stop orders, talks about like pending orders and consolidations and all that stuff. Not all fundamental announcements move the market.
Yeah.
All this information. It's all in the books.
Look at gold go. What is it?
DXY buy, Euro USD sell, gold sell. Is it somehow possible to know what direction the breakout will be? Or is it better to just wait and maybe enter a retest? Yes, the latter is correct. We don't know where the break is going to be. But we could know the bias. Who's that making noise?
We'd be very rich if we did know.
Yeah.
Look what God just did there, man.
I don't know what's going. Something's going on with it.
That's it. 1510 again. Game over. Back to 1507. Nice.
1 minute.
Yeah, less than a minute candle.
Yeah, that was like 10 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, that dealt with my runner.
Doesn't a 1 hour candle reveal it? Hammer inside bar. I have no idea what that means. Hammer inside bar. No idea.
So what did he say?
The hammer inside bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
So a hammer is basically as the candle is now with a big wick.
Yeah.
Imagine grabbing hold of the wick and using it as a hammer. So the body of the candle is the hammer bit. If you like.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And inside bar means that the high of the candle and the low of the candle fits inside the previous candle.
Interesting. US 30. So confirmation that market will go bearish. You had a confirmation here. You took the trade here. Your take profit is here. Awesome. So let me mark up a chart over here. Let's go in the gold weekly. See, I got a confirmation down over here. And then I took a buy somewhere at 1305.
I've got one of them from 1285.
Oh, nice, man. Beautiful.
Alright, look at this 15-minute candle close on GJ.
This motherfucker should go up, man.
You're going to class that as a retest of that zone there?
Yep.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to if you're willing to risk it.
That's it.
Does it not scare you that there is no bet on it?
No, it's not going to scare me at all. It's going to scare me if I lose more than what I want to lose. Because when you're scared, you shouldn't be trading. Right? Because let's say if you have two chances, right? Two chances to take a trade. If you take a third chance, then you should be scared because then you're going to lose more than what you wanted to lose. Not in it. Why do people send me messages on Telegram? Oh, someone sent an EJ chart. Oh, can't see the chart. What's this? Resistance, drop and retest to head back up. Yeah, I think the best thing on EJ would be to wait for a resistance to be formed here. Support. It's reached a resistance. More people send charts in the YouTube chat than they do in the Zoom chat. People in YouTube are taking more advantage of the streams. Ooh, GJ, 30 minute, waiting for bullish close candle above to take buys. And the ranging, no trading, nice. I think if this level still holds here, which you have on GJ, it should continue moving up. 15 minute created a bottom wick and now it's starting to head bullish. This 130 on 500 should hold for it to continue bullish. What's your opinion on Euro USD? I have no opinion on Euro USD because I don't trade Euro USD. So Tom R, you need to be a good sporty chap and post a link. Sporty chap. Yeah, GJ should head up here. Come on.
Come on. on, GJ.
Come on, you can do it. How far back do you look for your bias on GJ? Is it trending down, but you're looking for bullish? No, well, the thing about trending down is if you look on the weekly, of course, you'll say it's trending down. But if you look on the daily, you'll see that, okay, now it's trying to do some sort of retracement. So when you look on the daily candle could not break the low of the previous daily candle, right? What does this mean? This means that tried to go down, it could not make a lower low, so now it's heading back up. So now when you look at the time, there's what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 hours left for the daily candle to close. So if you see this wick, so there's a higher chance that the daily can continue going up and fill this wick at 131,840. So now when you go down to the 4-hour time frames, what do you see on the 4-hour time frames? We see that what price did was price created a support down here, price moved up, created another 4-hour support, price moved up, created another 4-hour support, right? Price moved up and created another 4-hour support. So once this support is formed, now you know that this current candle is above these two candles here to the left. So the most logical idea for GJ is now to head off till maybe this area, 131,800, but if it continues its momentum, it could come back up to 131,900 up here. Now you go to the smaller time frames. Let's go to the smaller time frames. We're going to go to the 1-hour time frame, and now we're going to look at the 1-hour time frame. And from the 1-hour time frame, what we see is that we had resistance formed here. This candle broke up and this candle closed bearish. So now essentially, if you're trading off the 1-hour time frame, you want this candle to continue bullish, in a sense, create a resistance here and continue on to its target there. Then you go to the 30-minute time frame. Going to the 30-minute time frame, same idea. So then you work off the smaller ones. As the smaller time frames start to go bullish, then you can visualize the higher time frames in turn start to end bullish. And then you say, okay, the bullish bias is playing out right. And obviously you have your high time frame targets that you have marked out, and obviously you have a stop loss marked out too. If you believe. What's this? Your USD 4-hour trailing stop target is up here. Perfect. Another thing is you entered here. Another thing is there is USD CPI coming in pretty strong, so that might affect your trade here, because CPI is, there are 3 most important and volatile news for the USD: NFP, interest rates, and CPI. Oh, I'm sorry, for Trump. So when you see them coming and you're in a trade with USD, you kind of tell yourself, maybe I wanna be safe here.
Come on, GJ, you bitch.
Come on, bitch. Let's go up. And it doesn't matter that you could be buying on a large retracement that will eventually go bearish like the overall trend. No, it doesn't, because you have smaller time frame targets. That's why people say, oh, these guys only take 10 pips, because it's practical. What platform do you use? Oh, MetaTrader. I do think pound is strong today. I do think that pound is strong. Even though the data was there, technically it looks like pound is bullish. It is bullish. The yen is weak. Gold, I have no idea what. The only thing I can tell, gold is ranging. This is goat shit. If people don't know what ranging is, it's goat shit. Actually, gorilla shit.
Yeah, I'm the real gorilla here.
Yeah. Tashan. So it's what Ted draws these, you know, he draws these boxes. Yeah, you don't want to trade this. You want to trade over here, or you want to trade over here. It's kind of like when he blacked it out. So let's black this whole thing out. Oh. So when we black this out, now you can't see where gold is. You know, all you see, gold might go up over here, or gold might end up down there. Oh, you know what we're gonna do on CPI? Might put pending orders on CPI. So it was a fun time in pending orders.
I just told him Euro news. USD news now.
Yep. CPI. My entry on GJ is 131,560.
Nice
131.
entry, Roger.
What's that?
Nice entry.
Yeah.
I'm at 5.8.
How do you trade FOMC? You don't trade FOMC. What kind of question is that?
Yeah, the last one was a lesson to us all.
Yeah.
Yep.
FOMC was the no. NFP was the lesson too.
Oh, was it NFP? Yeah.
Yeah, that was NFP.
Yeah, NFP was stupid.
Fucking retarded NFP.
Stupid. Take losses.
Yeah, I'm never ever using buy or sell stocks on NFP again. The thing is with NFP, and the smart thing to do is, and I did it after and made the money back, but you can catch the volatility, like, you know, wick fills and stuff after the initial move.
Yeah.
Let that first like spike up, down, whatever, do its thing, and there's still enough volatility in the time after to kind of grab some pips. Just don't try and predict the first move. You get whipsawed like last time.
Yep.
Yeah. NFP, I lost 1/4 of my profits for the week.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing. I only traded like I did, you know, what you do and put some money in a different account.
Yeah.
I think I went something like 70% drawdown on that account.
Oh.
And then I spent the next hour making it all back.
That tends to happen in NFP, I think. I've done it a few times right now.
Yeah, I had buy stops, it pushed up, triggered me in, and then dropped all the way down, and then they got closed. But I was down like, I don't know, 70% of the account, and then I spent the next hour and a half just scalping pips to make it all back. Stupid. I won't do that again.
Oh, someone sold UJ. Nice. Selling UJ at support. Perfect. You see the support? Nice. Excellent sell.
Good luck with that.
I mean, it could work out, but just logically, it just makes no sense. It's at support. How do you avoid the smart money? You cannot avoid the smart money because it's smart. Read in several
Smart
places.
thing you say.
How do you avoid the smart money? Oh god.
I read in several places to close all trades and only trade your USD very lightly on the 1 minute chart during NFP. Well, try it and let us know. Could you review a chart? You left me hanging. Maybe it wasn't a good chart. Oh, well, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Yep. Once you break support, go for it.
Yeah. There's nothing to add over here. You have support, you have entry below support, clean traffic, take profit, perfect.
Yeah, it's actually really well labeled. People should use that as a guide.
Oh no, Ted, no one will do that.
That's the way I would trade that pair. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
Plus UJ is not as volatile, so you can have a a decent stop loss too.
That's right. and you have a chance. It's forgiving in that sense.
Because if CPI gets bad and your order gets triggered, you're gonna make you're just gonna be a nice trade for you then. We're gonna keep this up for CPI.
All right, come on, GJ, come on, come on, come on.
Come on, GJ.
I nearly got 10 pips.
Ooh, hit tenors. $30-minute candle close, 30-minute candle close bullish. Continue up to fill this wick. Secured 10 there at that close. Now if it continues moving up, bonus.
I'd be careful with GJ right around 131,800.
Yes.
897, yeah, it's a little high, but 131,800 I think I'd be a little worried about.
Yeah, that's my TP.
I can tell Ted is absolutely disgusted with these rookie trades. No, not at all. It's I want people to do well, so I think that effort should be put into doing smart things. That's all. And I'm not disgusted by new traders. I think like if I give you, this is the thing that I guess not disgust me, but would frustrate me, is if I give you answers to your questions, don't question why I gave you those answers. Like if I'm telling you not to trade gold right now, it's because I've seen crap happen before and I'm anticipating crap happening down the way. So I'm trying to save you. If you don't want to listen to that, that's fine, but then don't ask me to do analysis on gold or what my thoughts are with gold, because I've given you my thoughts. That's where I would get frustrated, because it's like I already know down the road what's going to happen with gold because of the fact that I've experienced kind of turmoil enough, and you can tell by the way the chart is moving right now that the market is setting up for something and it's going to be stupid. So I just rather be out of the stupidity and let the market do its thing and then come back when the stupidity has ended. But the problem is, new traders, what they want is they always want to be in the market because they think if they're not in the market, they're missing opportunities to make money. And the smartest thing you can tell yourself is you're not missing opportunities to make money. You're preserving capital so that when there's an easier opportunity or there's an opportunity that you like, you will be able to then take that optimal entry and make profit. And you will find as you trade longer and you gain more experience, you will have more winning trades because what your mind and what your eyes will do, they will focus just on the winners. Like you will just start to look at charts and you will just see where are the winning opportunities. You won't notice any of the consolidation. You won't notice any of the range. You will just say, hey, when price reaches this level, I know that if I take a buy or sell, it's going to be profitable for me. And at that point, you will realize how easy trading is because you are getting rid of all the noise. Like if you look at GJ right now, it's ranging. We know that, and it keeps bouncing around that level. You also know that we're at 7:30. We're coming close to the New York Open, so there's going to be movement around that, and then we've got to wait for the move to happen if it does. But in the back of your mind, you also know that there's a lot of talks about Brexit. So there's always going to be potential for a downside for GJ because there could be a negative article or a negative news event that comes out about Brexit, and that'll drop the pound. So you keep that in the back of your mind. So right now, taking buys, you can do it, but it may be a little bit scary because at any given time, it can drop on you. So for me, I stay out of that until I get a little bit more clearer definition, or there's news events that come out to support my bias of a buy at that point. I can see that technically that GJ is a buy, but fundamentally in the back of my head, I'm worried that any given time someone comes out and says something stupid and it'll push me out of my order. So I just rather sit and watch until I hear more positive information about Brexit to support my bias. And right now, if my bias is bearish and the candles are going bullish, I don't take a trade. How many pairs are you trading and why? I'm trading one pair because that's the easiest thing to do. Honestly, focus on one pair and do your thing. You'll feel better.
See that? UJ sold UJ before it broke support. What happened? It went against you.
What's the news network you watch for market-related events? I Google, and I will Google Brexit, and I will click on the news tab in Google, and it will tell me all the latest Brexit articles. Trade wars, I Google, and I type it in Google, and then I click on the news tab, and it gives me all the information about the trade wars. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Ooh. China resumed trade talks.
Yeah, so Rakeel is doing it right now. You go to Google, type in trade wars, and then there's a tab across the top that says all. You go to news. You can click on news. So Rakeel, up at the top. A little higher. A little higher. Dude. Right here. There you go. And then all I do is I skim through this. I just go through all that. And that's a very, very easy way to look at what's going on in the world and what there is information about. It's a very, very straightforward way to get fundamental information very, very fast.
Fastest way on my phone.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Just as I closed GG at the top.
Nice.
660. Went to 650, 650, and just drop.
Look how it's got no wick on that candle there.
Yeah.
You can just see it flipping all the way bullish.
USA is winning the trade war. Okay, well, I don't really care who wins the trade war. I care about which direction the market's moving. That's the best thing about being a Forex trader. I don't give a shit who wins. I don't care if Brexit takes 6 years. All I want to know is if it's a negative impact or a positive impact. So I can buy or sell. That's it. Yeah.
It took nearly 6 already.
Yeah. That's basically it. I mean, that's why I tell people. It's like I don't care which way what happens with trade wars. I don't want to know the results. I don't want to predict the results. All I want to know is when the announcement comes out, so I can get on the charts and I can click buy or sell.
Yeah, I was saying this yesterday, and that's why I think we see so many more people trading gold now because of the climate and the markets we're in. You know, the volatility is in gold right now, so
yeah,
everyone wants to be trading it because it moves.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though. Gold has always done that. It's just people didn't realize it. They never noticed it. Because I mean, Simon, you and I, we've been trading gold now for like years, like since because you were part of Forex family like what, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Yeah. So I mean, it's just we've always traded gold. It's funny people never noticed how fast gold moves because gold on average, like on a non-volatile day, will move like $3 or $4 or $5. And you can easily pick up 10 or 15 pips very quickly in different parts of the market. It's just now all of a sudden everybody's trading gold, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's just funny because the only challenge people will have now is they don't know the tendencies of gold and they're not used to the whipsaws and the pullbacks that gold will do. And because gold moves harder technically, like from a technical analysis standpoint, it moves a lot harder. People aren't used to that, so they're trying to apply, and this is where new traders get into trouble. They try and apply the same strategy to gold that they would to, like, say, Euro JPY or USD JPY or like a normal currency pair, and you just get blown out of the water because you're not realizing that, like, at the end of an hour, gold can reverse the exact move it just did 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And you end up getting burned, and people are like, well, why did that happen? It just does. Like, we don't know why gold does what it does. It just does it.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a baptism of fire if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. People are trading gold because they see all the top traders doing it. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, we've talked about gold. Like, if you go like months into this stream, we talk about gold every day. Like, it's always been part of our repertoire. I just always laugh now because it's the top traders.
Yeah, it's more prominent now. People seem to be involved in it. It was always there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
people
cool.
also see quick money on gold.
Yeah. It's scary though. Like, gold moves very, very fast. There's times I've been in gold, like, over the years. I've cried. Not literally, but I've just sat there going, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
But the thing is, when it gives out money, it gives out so much money, so you have to take it. So now I've just accepted, like on NFP, when I lost that trade and I lost, like, I think it was like 30,000 or 28,000.
Yeah.
It's just like you sit back and you sort of like, whatever, cost of doing business, because
consistent is fine.
yeah. And that's the other thing too, is people don't trade a pair long enough to, I wouldn't say recoup their losses, but understand the losses so that they can exploit the wins at that point.
We always say about getting out, run the stops out.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen. I don't know if you're on when I was talking about Alex. I had one that was about 60 pips up as a runner.
Yeah.
And I was like, bloody brilliant. But I actually didn't know what to do with it. I was like, do I just close it now? I closed everything else anyway. Do I just close it now or not? Because you know what's going to happen at some point, and then it did 9 up to 30, I think, or something. But yeah, still, you just know what's happening. You've been on it so much.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And I mean, that's the same thing with me. Like, the other day when I had that trade running, it was like 170. I think I got up to 170 pips deep with gold. I moved my stop to like 100 pips just so that I could lock in that profit, and I let it do what it did. And then obviously it whipped right back to my stop loss. But it was the same thing, right? Because you get to 150 pips and you're sort of sitting there going, man, I could close right now or let it run. And it got to like 170. I'm like, oh, well, like maybe we get to 200, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I've been in position so many times now, and I think, well, I kind of know what's coming.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, and I mean that's a funny thing. Like we've talked about it before. Like it whips you out, and like for the most time, I'll get like 1 or 2 trades, you know, or I'll get like 3 or 4 trades. It'll be like 3 or 4 pips or 5 pips because it keeps stopping me out, and then you get like a nice trade for like, you know, 20, 30, 40 pips, and that makes up for all the times you keep getting stopped out in profit.
That's what I'm saying with the consistency. If you're shooting the right instant with the right time, you won't suffer. Just the stop outs, that's the. So I think that's a given. Reviewed EG this morning, Tech. It's took a bit of a jump past that 900 level.
Yeah, I haven't taken a look at it. I'm just sort of just
been a little jump, but it's
okay.
A pretty solid zone to be fair, but it did take a bit of a move yesterday and today.
Wow, DJ.
Oh yeah, GJ destroyed everyone who held.
I guess GJ is wanting to go down.
Yeah.
I think we're not going to be able to break that 131.600 zone. Because it's been rejecting for a couple of times.
I mean, if it's coming down now, it should get to like 130, 130.
Yes, and if it break that that support, we're going down.
Oh yeah.
What I've been noticing about like looking at a DJ, when it rejects multiple times, let me say like major zone, when it rejects and it comes down a lot, like with a lot of strength, you know. So we shall see, like if it respects this zone 131.600, which is a resistance, and if it breaks 131.300, I think we potentially could go down. We could go down, yes.
Yes. Yuan is right.
So not let the market work itself. But that's a huge rejection with this candle.
Yeah, that's a pretty huge rejection. I mean, the 30-minute close bullish. 1 hour was above that zone. So I guess it, you know, it didn't want to go up. So it went down.
Yes, I wonder how many people got buys as soon as that 30-minute candle closed bullish.
The worst thing you can do right now is, if you're holding buys, number one, you keep holding buys with no stop. Number two, that if you take a loss here, you start complaining and whining, but this was this, but why didn't do this? I mean, it was just a probability of not happening, because everything lined up for buys, but it didn't happen. So what you do, you just brush it off your shoulder and you move on with your day. Took a loss. Yeah, I took a loss too on this GJ. That's fine. No problem. How would you explain GJ going up after the bad economic data coming out? The UK was a liquidity temp. Well, price action dictated it's going to continue moving up, but I guess it didn't. We are price action traders. Price action. Gold is still stuck in gorilla shit.
Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, President Truman, Reverend clergy, fellow citizens.
Ooh,
God damn, that's a good rejection on
that's
DJ.
big, heavy. Look at that 4-hour rejection.
Damn.
Yeah, there was a couple of questions in the chat regarding like sort of why, if there's negative information out there, would a pair be positive? What you may find is a lot of times when you look at the way the markets move, and understand just little instances in the market. So say, for example, like GJ as an example, or gold, or I wouldn't say gold, I'd say GJ, and there's weakness in the pound. There comes a certain point that even if the pound is weak, there's still going to be some upside. And the rationale behind this is, when you think about currency and you think about what FX is basically the buying and selling of currency contracts. And those currency contracts are still required to do commerce, to do trade, to just in the global economy to begin with. So there's always going to be some instance that people have to purchase currency. So that's still going to drive up a bit of the demand for the currency. So that's why when sometimes you look at the various currency pairs and you're confused and say, well, why is this happening? It's just because you have to understand that globally, there's like right now, people are still using the pound in the UK to make purchases. So there's still commerce going on, and when you look at that, so just keep that in mind. When you see pullbacks, a lot of times the pullbacks are to collect orders to get a better position to continue trend. But also at the same time too, there's instances people are purchasing the currency just because of the fact that they need to hedge it against other instruments. So they're hedging it against various equity instruments, various trade instruments, things of that nature. So that's the reason why you sometimes get those pullbacks, because essentially there are businesses that are going into institutions saying, hey, I need to purchase X millions of or X billions of UK currency. So, that's going to drive the price of it up because they have to fill those orders. And that's essentially how trading works. Like if you're new to trading and you don't understand the buy and the sell process, think about the markets, and this is exactly what it is, as an auction, right? So if I have one UK pound, or I have one gold bar, and I have 100 people that are looking to buy that bar or buy that UK pound, the price of that particular instrument will drive up. And the question is, you ask yourself is, why does that price drive up? Well, that price drives up because of the fact that there's a demand for that one instrument. Now let's look at the pound as an example. Right now, the UK pound is in the shitter because there's instability. So how do you create a demand for the UK pound? You drive the price down. So as you drive the price down, it comes a point where it becomes lucrative to buy that. So as an example, if I was a baker, right? You have a baker, you have a salad maker, and you have someone who just wants dinner, okay? And I'm selling you an apple or a strawberry or some piece of fruit. The baker doesn't care what the piece of fruit looks like because they're putting it into the pie. So all they're going to do is they're going to cut the apple up, and the apple on the outside could look like crap. It could be bruised, it could be damaged, but they'll buy the apple still because of the fact that they're using it for other goods, right? So when you have an apple pie, you can't tell if the apple itself was bruised when you have a piece of apple pie because the apple pie is baked. You've never seen the skin of the apple. People normally cut the apple up when they put it in an apple pie. Now, if you are someone who's creating an apple salad, as an example, okay? I don't know if there's such thing as apple salad, but just for this analogy, it makes sense. If I look at the pieces of the apple that are in the salad and they look crappy, I'm not going to want to buy that salad. So the person creating the apple salad has to get a better looking apple than the baker. And now the final person is someone who just wants to eat the apple, like, day to day. You're going to probably want that apple to look really nice because you're actually taking the apple home and staring at it, and if it's bruised, if it's discolored, you don't want that apple. So now when you compare that to currency, it's the same idea. There's going to be people that don't want to buy the currency, or that will buy the currency at the price that they need to because they're using it for whatever. There's going to be a point where people will buy the currency at the lowest point because it's of a value to them. They can use it, right? So that's where you get the levels of purchase. So at a certain point, the pound will bounce up a bit because there are a bunch of bakers that are buying the pound saying, hey, I'm not going to use the pound for what it's worth right now, but I can hold it later because I don't need to use it at this point. I can just sit on this, and this is a great value for me. So going back to the baking analogy, I can buy a barrel of apples or a bushel of apples that look like crap, put them in storage, and use them to bake my pies tomorrow, and I got a really good deal on those apples. So that's essentially what currency trading is once we reach a certain low in the market, institutions turn around, come in and buy because they're like, hey, I'm getting such a huge discount. I was expecting to buy the pound at 133 and I'm getting the pound at 131. I can afford to buy less and hold longer, if that makes sense, right? So instead of me buying $300 worth of the pound at 133, I can now buy $100 at 131. I've bought it for less, and I'm able now to hold it for longer because my exposure is less. Because I didn't buy I didn't have to buy the $300 worth. I could buy the $100 worth, and when it goes back up to 133, that's effectively the $300 value that I would have had purchasing it at that level. Okay? So that's basically when you look at what happens in the market, that's sort of the analogies that you use in the market to understand why price does what it does. Okay? So hopefully that helps you a bit. Yeah, so it's basically order discounts. Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. So when you understand what's happening in the market, you'll know that that's sort of the rationale behind it. That there's always an institution, there's always someone looking or that can purchase that lower price and that can hold a little bit longer because they're able to spread their risk out. That's all. Can you please tell me how many pairs a trader is supposed to trade? One pair. GJ, yes. GJ is a bruised apple. Yes, that's a good analogy of putting it. Uncle Hi Ted, Wicks don't lie. Is it wise to re-enter a trade after the first entry is hit by a stop hunt? Well, it depends on what your risk is. That's not a very well thought out question. You need to have a little bit more information. Like, why did you get stopped? So. Okay, Mohammed Talak Tukdar, don't use the word fam. It shows me your lack of intelligence.
Yeah, it does. In 2020, we're gonna kick everyone who uses the word fam.
Yeah, if you use the word fam or ting or something stupid like that, like, it shows me your lack of intelligence, and you know, it's sad. It truly is. You know, you're a grown adult. You shouldn't be using those words.
Ting, I've not heard that for ages.
Ting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In Toronto, people use that all the time. This guy pulled me over the other day because he cut me off. So I leaned on my horn. He pulled me over into the parking lot, and he turned around and we got out of the car because I was like, dude, you just sit up my front end. And he looked at me. He's like, so what are you gonna do, fam? I'm like, really?
What are you gonna do with that?
I was like, first of all, you're wearing like $20 fake Gucci sunglasses. Your tracksuit doesn't fit properly, and you're driving a 2001 Hyundai Tucson. I said, I'm not doing anything to you, fam. I said, I value my name. He's like, yo, ting, blah, blah. I'm like, oh god.
Was he Jamaican?
I have no idea, but it was funny because he wanted me to hit him. And in my head, I'd already calculated. I'm like, he wants me to hit him because he sees the value of my car and he knows I have money.
Yeah, can I afford
That was the only reason why he told me to hit him. That was it. Because he knew I was. Because literally, the thing is, what happens is when people do that on the road, like this is the second time I've gotten out of my car. And as soon as I get out of my car, people take 2 steps back. Because first of all, they think it's like some like guy who's like 5 foot nothing getting out of the car. No, I'm 6'4", 210 pounds. And I had just come back from the gym. So, like, you got me on the bad day.
You know what this reminds me of? Ted, I don't know if you guys watch The Simpsons. This is one episode where, I guess, Nelson was playing Hot.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the car. Yeah,
that's exactly what came to my head.
Yeah, he literally told me to pull over. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like, you're not going to bother me. No, and then I get 16,000 people message me afterwards, like after I told the story, and they're like, you know, he could have had a gun, he could have had this. I'm like, if he had a gun, he wasn't going to ask me to pull over. He would have just shot me.
Oh yeah.
You know, like,
that's funny.
Yeah. But it was just like, you know. All right. Let's see what's going on. Constantine uses FAM. Yes, I know. We've already warned him about that. Ted, what do you think about? I think about a lot of things. Oh, what do you think about volume trading? I don't know. I think there's multiple ideas to do that, and I believe there's a lot of information about volume trading that, you know, like there's peaks in volume in terms of buys and sells. It does show like breakout potentials and things like that. Yeah, it's hard to see the car, like myself in the car, how tall somebody is.
That's always a worry when someone gets out and you do that hit hole.
Ted, why are you not using volume profiles to see where the big banks are pushing the market? So, Carly, the only issue with that is, you know, a lot of times people say use volume or use this. The challenge that I find with using something that's related to big banks or big institutions is that the market itself is decentralized. So what you may find from one institution, there's hundreds of other institutions that are not releasing their data. So that's where I find it conflicting to try and use something. Like everyone always talks about these reports that the government sends out, or like, you know, like those futures reports or things like that. It's only a select group that have submitted based on the fact that they have the requirements necessary to make the submission, like they meet that threshold. There's so many more institutions that are trading every day that we don't hear about. It's hard for me to believe that looking at a report or looking at an indicator or some sort of, you know, some sort of information that has been packaged will give me the right amount of information or outlook on the market, because the market is decentralized. Now, if the market was centralized and everybody was trading on the same exchange, then there would be more validity to that. That's the only thing that I fear, is having a decentralized exchange and having exchanges all around the world and people leveraging money all around the world. It's hard to say that there's validity to those reports. Once again, I say that because nobody has shown me a track record or some sort of consistent approach saying, hey, if you use this consistently, you will be able to tell which direction the market's going. There's always a fatal flaw in those reports. So what ends up happening is, yeah, you can use them for, 1 or 2 or 3 months, and then, you're going to keep trading, and then one day it's just going to go totally sideways. And now you sit there back and say, well, did it make sense? So it's just understanding, that's why, like when I look at something like that, that's why I'm always a little hesitant, that's all. But if it does work for you, I mean, that's great. I think that's perfect. Like if it makes sense, it's just, for me personally, I just can't use a piece of information that's extrapolated from like one section of the area, like one section of a market, because it's not the total market, that's all. I thought interbank is where all the money goes through for the markets. Well, yeah, but you have to understand that there's hundreds of institutions other than interbanks that will purchase and sell currency. It's not the banks that are necessarily marking the rate. It's the supply and demand, right? If you have $3 billion hedge funds, like I don't mean like $1 billion, but multi-billion-dollar hedge funds making a large run at like the pound, it's going to drive the pound, and that has nothing to do with an interbank. It's just a hedge fund trying to secure positions, right? So that's that's sort of what you look at, and you say to yourself, hey, like like if it does work for you, then that's great. It's just more like I say, I hate to use data that is just pulled from one source. That's all.
That being said, is there a way that you could not extrapolate, but like find, I mean, other than using Google, like is there ways that you can actually get data on different institutions that are, I guess, bringing? No? Okay. No. So it's not public knowledge.
Yeah, it's not public. That's why the markets are decentralized. That's why Forex is so manipulated, because all these big institutions can move the market, and they can gang up and move the market together, and you would never know. And that's why lately there was a couple of those articles saying these traders all had like this secret chat where they were manipulating the market because they were just getting prices for themselves. Yeah. So it's just,
I've heard about that. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. Let's see. Ted, there are so many traders outside that they hide his face on IG account. So it's dangerous. So it's dangerous to be a successful trader. I don't know if it's success. I don't think it's, I guess the question is like, you should hide your face if you're successful. It's not that. I mean, I don't think I'm more, I don't think, people, I'm not a celebrity. I don't think traders are celebrities that people would just find them, unless you're on the news a lot and your face is plastered everywhere. Instagram is such a small microcosm. Like you look at people, they can be super famous on Instagram, and then when you go out into the real world, they're nobodies, right? So that's sort of how I look at Instagram. Even though Instagram, you may feel impacts you, if you took away Instagram right now, there'd probably be only a handful of people you'd probably still talk to. Let's put it that way. Like if that disappeared, and to that point as well, there's thousands, if not millions, of probably very good traders that aren't on Instagram, because I know like at least 40 or 50 of them that have left Instagram that are very good traders. They just don't sit on Instagram anymore because it's not worth their time. So there's lots of instances like that too. So I think it's skewed to think about that too. Forex, biggest financial market in the world. Yeah, it is the biggest financial market in the world, but it's the biggest decentralized market. If someone doesn't have a substantial deposit amount but consistent trading track record, would it be fine or for him or her to use an investor account with larger capital? I mean, once again, that's personal preference. I don't know how you could have a consistent track record without a substantial deposit. The thing is, if you didn't have a substantial deposit and you were consistent, why haven't you built your account up? I think that's sort of the bigger issue. I mean, that's not me saying anything negative. It's just like, if you're consistent, the money will come. That's all.
Morning.
Good morning.
What's up? Waiting for CPI?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
I will jump it now. You won't trade it.
You want to buy rich, buy gold. Need to go back to 1465. Oh, Neon comes in every day and talks about these magical areas of gold. 1467 to 1465 to 1457. Sure, $100 range.
That's a massive line.
Throw a dart at a dartboard. If it hits the dartboard, you win, right?
One day he's gonna be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always sort of chuckle at those kind of ideas, like $100. It's like, yeah, eventually you'll be right. It'll go somewhere.
We've been right from 1250. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we said it would be buys after 1300. It's been buys.
Yeah, we're good. That's at least however many dollars.
How long did it take you to make real money? Real money is anything from $1 to $1,000 or $1 million. Marco, I think you need to take a step back and evaluate your abilities and not worry about someone else's abilities, because it's going to hurt you. And I'm not saying this, once again, as an arrogant comment, but if I tell you how long it takes me to do it, you will then have a benchmark that you may not be able to successfully manage or, do the same thing. And the problem with trying to do a benchmark and saying how long did it take you to do this is there are too many variables that do not match your life compared to someone else's life, right? So if you were to say, okay, well, how long did it take someone to be consistent? You would need to have the exact same life, the exact same education, the exact same discipline, the exact same money management skills. Everything would have to be exactly the same for you to properly benchmark. Because the biggest problem is when you say that is you now put some sort of idea in your head, right? So if example, trader A says it took them 6 months to become consistent. So what's the first thing you do? You look at trader A and you say, okay, well, they're 24 years old. They went to school or they didn't go to school, and they did this, and this, right? And then what happens is you then turn around and say, well, I'm smarter than trader A. I went to school or I did this, and then so it should only take me 3 months. And the problem with that train of thought is maybe it takes you 3 months and 1 week, but after 3 months when you're not consistent, you get frustrated and you stop trading. That's the issue when people ask those questions about how long did it take you to be consistent, how long did it take you to run up an account, how long until you are profitable. All those questions, when you ask how long something happened, you don't have enough information to create a baseline to say that, hey, I can do this now in 6 months or a year. That's sort of the biggest issue. What you should be doing for yourself is you should be saying, okay, over the next 100 trades, how has my win rate been? And then based on that information, what do I have to do to improve my win rate to then get to consistency? Like, you should be back testing your own, your own person, so to speak, so that you can then figure out how you can become consistent. because my story will be greatly different than your story, because I can tell you right now, I gambled since I was 18. I'm 39 now, so that's, you know, over basically 20 years that I've been gambling. The risk management side to me was so easy for me to grasp because of that aspect. Because I spent hundreds of hours in a casino. I spent hundreds of hours at a poker table. I guarantee you nobody who's trading in this YouTube channel has played as much poker as I have, because A, you're probably not my age, and B, you probably never really played poker. You could probably come close, and there probably people be like, oh yeah, Ted, I played poker every day for 15 hours a day for the last 6 years. Okay, fine. There's going to be exceptions to the rule, but I'm saying the majority of people have not stepped inside a casino, have not really gambled, have not considered gambling as a way to make money or understood the risk side of it. And now you're coming into trading. So essentially the first thing that you're learning about trading is risk management and discipline. So right away, you are set back at least, I would say, 6 months to a year, understanding risk management and discipline. You think you can do discipline, you think you have risk management, but you don't until you start to get burned, and until you start to see, hey, I was in profit and I let my profit go back to break even instead of taking the profit. Like, there's going to be instances that way. So that's why when someone asks how long it takes to be consistently profitable, or how long did it take someone to get winning trades, how long does it take someone to grow an account, it's always going to be individualistic. There's never going to be a right answer or an answer that will fit everyone's mold. That is the biggest issue. And that's where you have to understand that it's hard to answer those questions. So when people ask, how much money did you start with? How long did it take you to be consistent? How long did it take you to become profitable? Those questions can't be answered accurately to help you. It's true. Like, you can scream and yell and complain and say anything you want. You're just setting yourself up for disaster if you want someone to give you an answer and then you're going to follow that answer. That's the toughest thing that you can do for yourself. The biggest thing you have to do is where do you have your information? How do you get educated? How do you approach the market? Like, those are the kind of questions you should be asking. And then what you should be doing is you should be testing out those ideas to see how they fit to your lifestyle, fit to your train of thought, fit to your emotional state, all those things, and keep modifying based on that. That's the biggest thing that you can do as a person, is really just set yourself up so that you can say, hey, this is what I want to do, and if I'm going to do it, I need to understand how I react in certain situations, and how do I correct that, or how do I improve on that. That's what I think you'd want to do. Right? So just keep that in mind.
But we shall always hope to find them strongly supporting their own freedom. And remember that in the past.
Gold, not gold. Ted.
Yeah.
I just woke up, so I didn't see what you were talking about gold. But do you expect it pushing up or not?
I'm not touching gold. We talked about that earlier. There's just way too much stuff going on with gold right now. Just letting it sit.
Yeah, but I saw that not touching. But do you expect popping up, or you're not sure? So that's why.
It's in a big range right now between 1506 and 1510. I tend to believe that there might be a positive impact to CPI, and that might drive the price down. But I don't believe in CPI right now, because of the fact that there's that trade war discussion starting today with the U.S. and China in Washington. So I don't think the markets are going to move as well as they should have related to the data that's coming in because of that fact. They're going to hold out until they get the actual information from the trades. So I think you're going to find a lot of USD impact news. Even though it's high impact, it's not going to be beneficial for us, because it'll just pull back right to the original area, because of the fact that that's not the news they're waiting for. That's right, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like I said, you're not going to get the move that you think you would normally get for CPI. I think it's just going to push, and then what'll happen is it'll pull back right away because no institution wants to release their orders on this news bulletin. Think about it this way: if you know that the mother load of data is coming like over the next couple of days, why would you set off your orders right now? Like it doesn't make sense to play your hand this early. It makes sense to play your hand when the big mother load data comes out, when we actually hear geopolitical data related to the trade wars, when we actually get a resolution or we get concrete information of what's happening. That's where you're going to see the mother load of orders released into the market. It's not going to happen during CPI. CPI will be a blip. Like you might catch maybe 10 or 20 pips, and then right away it'll pull all the way back.
Yeah, I think it will be shit like NFP last week, something like that.
Yeah.
The news.
Do you know where institutions get their news from? Yep, that's they pay hundreds of people millions of dollars a year to do that data scrubbing for them. And then they also pay them additional money to get news from insiders who are probably in the White House, who are probably probably working with people, representatives in China. That's what happens. The general news comes from like Bloomberg, Squawk, things like that. There's paid services you can get that they use as well. But I mean, once again, an institution, that's why they are an institution. They pay people to sit there and comb through data and get information. Like, I mean, if you look at Billions, if you watch the show Billions, the guy runs a hedge fund and he has all his analysts do work. What do the analysts do? They go out to like the one episode, the guy goes out to the chicken farm and excuse me, and hijacks the chicken farmer. Like, you're not going to find a news report about that. He actually went out and created the news, right? So when you think about this trade war, I guarantee you there's people on Trump's political staff that have connections to institutions through, person to person who nobody knows about. And they're like, hey, what's the inside scoop? And it's like, this is what's happening today. And institutions are prepping that. And then you turn around and say, well, how do we know? It's like, you don't know, but you know. Like, there's no way that nobody know that this is a total blackout situation, that nobody has inside information. Everybody has inside information. They're just not releasing it. And the news agencies don't get that inside information because Trump hates the news. So you know sort of where all the information's going. And you also know that most institutions, there's probably some sort of benefit for them to get this information, and they just kick it back to their political representatives through other means in that respect. See in 4 minutes how gold works.
Yeah, you'll find out really quick.
Yeah. There's a resistance at 1509 or something like that. Yeah, you have it on your chart. If it pops up, I think you get to 1512, if that, and then it pulls back down.
If the news will be bad for the US, it will pop 1520 easily.
Do institutions compete with one another? Well, I think some of them do. I mean, obviously, there's some instances they do, but other instances they don't. I think there's a little bit of both, right?
All right. So I don't know if I want to get slipped today or not.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, what crazy trade idea do you have for this news?
Yeah, if I want to get slipped.
Yeah, there's always slip.
because I was thinking maybe a sell stop at like 1506. Let's do that. Sell stop.
Yesterday on Asian, if you saw, there was a nice move on gold.
Yeah, I caught that. That's not a good one.
8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Exactly at 00, 8 p.m. and 00, 9 p.m. It just pushed down.
Hey, what's going on? Morning.
Morning, morning.
Yeah, I was speaking on that gold Asian session. Yeah, it was pretty good, but GJ, man, I closed yesterday for 90 pips in Asian. It was insane.
Okay, gold incoming.
Okay, so I got a, what's this? So I got a buy stop at 15.1150 and a sell stop at 15.06.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, it's not nice until it
Good
gets
luck.
650. That's great.
That gorilla shit is gonna bounce from one side to another.
Let's see. I think it's going up.
I will just watch.
Yeah, I will watch too, but
yeah,
I'm not playing.
I won't trade it.
I'll fold this one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing yet, but it went up. Wait. It will go up.
Nothing. I closed my order. Nothing.
It didn't even break 1510. Wow. Oh, that was exciting.
What's the news?
Good job, everybody.
I said about the move being relevant.
Oh, the news were
Negative.
bad, yeah.
Yeah. But you can see it really didn't do anything.
Yeah, but
now it's pulling back into the range.
It was, look at that 1 minute. Wow.
So dumb.
Yeah. It will continue to range.
That's what we sort of figured, right? We said that it probably won't do much because there's bigger news coming out, and that's exactly what it did. It spiked and then it pulled back.
This could be a breakthrough for the movement to continue up or we'll wait for that news what you said.
Yeah.
But it could push up today at 1520.
I don't think there's going to be any movement with gold until there's an actual report out of the discussion in Washington. Yeah, and I think what's going to happen is the news is going to come out over the weekend.
Yeah, and there'll
be a gap.
Up, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, at 1520, 1530.
So nobody gets the money.
Yep. Only if you're crazy enough to take buys after in the weekend, before weekend, but that's really dumb.
Yeah. News doesn't determine the direction. It's been determined way before. They just add liquidity. Well, yeah, that is an accurate statement. Based on the information on the news is how the market reacts. If the news is what they expected, sort of the market moves the way it does. And when there's a shock in the news or something unexpected, that's where the market moves a little bit more. But what we were relating this to is nobody really knows what's happening with the trade wars. So that's where the market is going to react in a big way at that point. Yeah, essentially right now, there's comments about the institutions and trade wars. The institutions, the reason why, like you can see right now, over the last, this is a 4-hour chart, you can see essentially what's happened in the market at this point based on information, right? So if you look right here, you can see that the market is basically just waiting for news to be released. That's the biggest issue. They're waiting for news to be released, so it's just going to sit back and it's going to range until they get that. But what's happening is orders are being put into the market to sit there and wait. Yeah. So today is pretty much a crappy trading day.
The 4 hour stays bullish. I think we can get a wick fill before dropping. Alright. Yeah, I honestly think like during New York, someone might tweet something, say something, some just random news comes out. That's the only thing I can make out of this gold gorilla shit consolidation today.
Yep.
There's some dude on Instagram keeps arguing with me that gold is gonna head down. Keeps sending me charts and his opinions and reasoning, and I'm like, man, I don't care.
At least he's sending charts.
At least he's sending a chart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forex is talking to that Irish guy now. So, keep an eye on that.
Yeah, there's been no trades today. It's been pretty quiet. That's all good.
Yeah, GJ looks like shit. Gold, shit.
But yeah, all this jumping.
Earlier was gold selling EG buy.
Gold's dropping. Bad CPI, gold dropping.
Yeah, man. Gold is working with a dildo.
Yeah. I still remember when Rakeel said that. It's like a little kid with a dildo stabbing everybody. Just running around.
Yeah.
I always picture that in my mind, like this big room, like people are standing having drinks in a big party room, and this kid running around with a dildo just.
That's hilarious.
There goes gold all the way down into support again.
Give it 2 or 3 minutes, it's gonna go all the way up again.
Why?
I don't know, man.
Somebody must have just said something.
Yeah, to make it do that, I'm just trying to see now. I can't see anything yet.
Ooh, Robert Banks getting consistent, profitable weeks. Oh wow, very nice.
Look at GJ. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm done. This is shit today. I'm out.
EJ as well is going up.
Nothing.
I just want to see how much gold will drop.
Why is gold dropping like a rock?
Wow, gold is just dying.
Personally, I can't find anything yet.
No, nothing about Trump.
Yeah, that's
Holy
what
cow.
that's the thing.
A zero hedge had nothing.
The only thing I see is Social Security check is going to get a 1%, 1.6% increase in 2020. That's
Oh,
it.
nice. How happy are you, Kawan, about that?
I can care less.
Are you excited? Social Security people are gonna make more money.
More money.
By $1. TP zone. Don't have a stop loss because of CPI. Entry candle. Wasn't very smart, but good. Very nice. Why don't you do pairs like CAD CHF? Because CAD CHF is a minor pair. And haven't really looked at CAD CHF. Don't really understand CHF, so that's why I don't look at CAD CHF.
This is like the slowest pair in the world as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say if gold continues this way, what you can do is you can set buys for like 1503 now, and then just ride it right back up into the zone.
Yeah, the other day support. Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, you could just turn around and take buys right over here and just ride it right back up.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna top the 98.
Looks like it's heading straight for 1500, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this is great because I mean now you can start putting in a buy stop like literally right here, knowing that hey, if it pulls back up, it's gonna pull right back up into this range. Easiest trade in the world. This is gonna whipsaw right back.
In a second.
Sweet.
Some stupid manipulation right now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Caught those sales off US 30. Alright. I'm done for the day.
Gold sell. Who is it? You missed it.
You know,
I missed
I was thinking that maybe this move with gold is just maybe liquidity that's set up to push up around $9.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
841 right now.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
The only thing that came out too that could contribute to that, they're talking about the trade war. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I don't see anything else. Why gold will go down as far as it is now?
No, anything above 15, any buys above 1504 will probably go back up to 1506. I mean, it's in a nice range right now. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Can anyone hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you silent and clear.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Testing.
We can hear you, GGG Investments.
Can't hear anybody.
Yeah, we can hear you. I think his speakers are closed.
This specific situation with inflation data, because the Feds expected it to be weaker, because inflation data can't consistently stay strong all the time, it has these seasonal trends for 3 to 4 or 5 months. you had CPI data be above forecast by 0.1% for 3-4 months, and you had Feds already expecting it to drop, and you had a slide in U.S. data last week. We already knew producer price inflation dropped. Job data last week from NFP was a miss, and then manufacturing and all that was a miss, right? So I think this 0.1% to 0.2% was already expected, as long as it's not zero or negative, and it's just going along with what the Fed said already, right? Plus, today's a fucking raging market anyway.
There we go. Someone said gold is a ranging market anyway. Your JPY. Retest at support and buy. Target. First target. Green. Potential long-term targets. I like it. So if you look at your JPY. Ooh, your JPY is breaking up.
That's what I'm waiting for now.
Nice.
I'm still holding my strings anyway.
Get ready to buy gold when it comes back up to the 1503. If you die, you can't lose money.
Logic.
I always like Gizzle or Jizzle. He always has insightful comments. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube because he always turns around and says some weird things. It's a good little group we have here. 900 people online, all hanging out doing their thing. Gold is filling all the way down to 1490.
No.
97?
97, 99.
1500? Oh, Rakeel's got it up here. Go right to here. Boom, and then boom.
We would love to see that.
Yeah, it's gonna whipsaw right back up. I can't wait. Smash the button, fellas. I would smash the button for gold when it gets to around 1503, like 70. That's when I'd smash the button for gold. So 1503.70. If it goes up, that's where I'm looking to take a buy. 1503.70.
And 062 or something.
I've got 1503.72, but I think anything above 1504 is going to be a very good buy.
No, sorry, I meant up to about 06.
Oh yeah, 1506.50. I think that's a very, very safe purchase. Because I think that this hourly candle is going to create a huge wick and it's going to go right back into the range. So I think you're going to find it's going to probably come around 1506.09, 1505.65. I think you're going to easily get 20 pips on like a 5-second move because it'll just pull all the way back. It's good.
Could be one of the last 5 minutes of the hour job.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. I have a pending order. Hopefully it gets hit, not with stupidity. I might take a loss today because of this stupid trade, but I think it's a good idea. I just
come down here.
It makes sense because it broke out of a range for no reason, so that's why I'm thinking like doing this. There's something wrong with this situation. So like I said, my buy stop will be 1503.70. That's where I put my buy stop, and let's see what happens.
And you would aim for 10 or 15 or 20 pips?
I'm going to go to 1506. I think what we should be able to do is we should hit that range back into 1506.58. There's a huge bunch of wicks, so let me see if I can mark it up on Rakeel's chart. So 1503 is probably, let's do this, 1503 is probably like right around here. And then I assume that we're probably going to go right to probably in this area here, like just in the 1506 range. So I think we'll have that. I can't see trading view charts because I don't have trading view, but Raj will check it when he comes back.
It's coming.
Pretty well on 5 minutes as well. Pebbles.
Here it comes. Like Jaws. It's a super retracement all the way back.
Yeah.
And then my stop loss for this will be at 1501. Like the bottom of this the bottom of the last candle on the 15-minute will be my stop loss. So if it pulls up and it drives all the way back down again, then I'm out of the trade. But I believe 1503, 1504 buy stop all the way to 1506 should be valid with a 1501 stop loss. So that's going to be my trade when it comes to it. So, and then so my stop loss would be right over here. This would be my stop area. This wick right here.
Yeah.
So this is, your stop loss. This is take profits.
But if you take that kind of stop loss, it's 30 pips, I think.
No, 20. 1503 to 1501.
1503.
Yeah. And then it'll be 1503 to 1506. So it'll be like 30 pips. And 20 pip stop, 30 pip take profit. So we'll see what happens. Come on, just a little bit more.
Yeah, now it's on the key. It will probably explode now. or continue down.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that it works out, of course.
If Forex charts were like people, they'd get so much hate mail. Because I get a lot of hate mail like saying like, oh man, what the fuck? This had to do this, what the hell? I'm like, hey, market just did what it had to do.
I think that would be Donald Trump.
Fly all the way back.
Jesus starting to move.
Yeah, I think GJ will bounce off.
Yeah.
It's a key resistance.
I mean, I don't know why it took so long. Very, very tough day today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Patience required.
What about these bots on your Instagram the other day? Oh, listen, this stream is about this charts, not about Instagram. Because that person, he would be praying right now. He never done that.
Those bots were entertaining.
Man, it's funny. Those bots were commenting on the stream saying, "Give me my money back."
Yeah.
When it was a free stream.
I was about to say, like, well, who am I paying back?
Yeah. How much do you want?
Yeah, how much? I owe you free? Okay, here's free. I just paid everybody back. Everyone, you just received free money.
Trading in a range is equal to breaking the rules.
That is true. Trade in the range. waiting for my buy stop to be activated already. Holy cow. Came close. And then nothing happened. Hey, black
Maybe on open, hardly open, then it will push.
Yeah, I hope so. I really think this 1 hour is going to pull all the way back up into 1505, 1504.
It's a huge week now.
Yeah. It's honestly. Ted, remove your buy stop. I don't think it will go your way for TP for 7 minutes. Well, let's take a look.
You don't know who Ted really is.
Let's take a look. Let's see how the market moves in the next 2 minutes, and then also in the new hour. Because yesterday in the new hour we flew up 20 pips in 5 minutes. So I'm going to hedge my idea on the fact that at 9 o'clock we're going to fly up like crazy again.
I reckon 8:57. I'm going to put it on the dot. There you go.
I just have a feeling that we are going to see what we saw yesterday. Just a small feeling. Getting advice from a guy who doesn't have money. No, that is true. You have no money, do you? That's why I said I'm okay. I have my stop. Once my order gets activated, so I'm perfectly fine with that.
Vice President Johnson, Speaker, Mr. Chief Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, Mr. President Truman.
So what we're visualizing, we're going to use Rakeel's famous indicator. So guys, what we're going to see, we're going to see this. Go right back up here. The next hour.
Good morning, boss.
Good morning.
Loved how UJ and EJ moved.
It's the last 5 minutes of the hour.
Yeah, the miracle is coming.
Dang, the goal already dropped.
Raja Ted, do you think any indicator helps? Well, indicators do help, but you can't rely on them solely. I think that's the bigger idea, is don't rely on indicators solely to make your decisions. Sometimes they can help guide your eyes, but more so than not, you don't really need indicators to really look at the market. They're just like training wheels. Eventually you realize that they're not useful because your eyes start to see similar things. And remember too, when you look at indicators, if indicators were so great, everyone would just be able to trade and nobody would have to do anything else.
We would have no problems.
Yep. You just pop on an indicator on your charts, and bang, you'd have everything good there.
Yeah.
Well, our 857, 858 idea has not come to fruition yet. I'm actually disappointed, but we'll see what happens at 9 o'clock.
No, 3.
Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't activate, then I might just kill my buy stop. But I really think that this doesn't make any sense. This range, that like the fact that we dropped that low, it doesn't make any sense, and I think it has to correct all the way back up. So I'm confident that we should pull all the way back up, at least into, like, when you think about it, right? Like, here's your box, like
It's halfway back.
yeah, it should pull all the way back up, unless we're just retesting this area here, and then we're dropping further.
Yeah.
So UJ is going up. Yes.
GJ too.
Doesn't mean gold can possibly go down.
Yep.
Touch the 1498, which is main support area.
That indeed is the case.
Good morning, Roger and Ted. I have a question regarding Brexit and GJ. If Brexit were to be delayed or come to an undefined conclusion, why does it give us hope and strengthen the pound? Because the uncertainty goes away. Because if Brexit happens, that's considered bad for the pound. You know, so when it's delayed, then that means, okay, now the perception is good of the pound because the evil is at bay now.
They're working on a solution that's more beneficial.
Yeah.
If EJ breaks up all fixable, let's see. Yes, sir, it is.
GJ's pushing, and
Drop coming.
this 15-minute on GJ is also pushing.
Pretty much in that last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Nah, don't call me that, please.
Oh, will it close with no wick? There we go. 4 hour closed, 30-minute closed.
Let's see what happens.
Bobby is the EJ King. Can GJ push? Yeah, because essentially if GJ is moving up, this is what it should do on the 15-minute. It shouldn't break this low on the 15-minute. Oh, that's a bad color. Yeah, this low here. Because you know, it made a low here, this made a low, this made a high. So, you know, the only concerning thing is this resistance, but if it's continuing up, this candle should continue on making a higher high and a higher low. Shouldn't break this low. This one.
It's gonna be right.
Thought I was going to be right too. It just pulled up, and I was like, "Ooh, it's going to hit it," and then it didn't.
It stopped.
Yeah. Like, it looks like it's getting ready to rocket.
I stopped entry at 1504.4.
Yeah, I'm at 1503.70. Sorry.
Yeah, I moved it because I think it could spike up and then continue down. So this would be a safer buy stop.
Alright, what's this?
Yeah, if it doesn't move in the next 2 minutes up, I'm just going to cancel the buy stop.
I'm giving it this 5-minute candle.
Yeah, just because the 15-minute looks like it's pushing up, and the 5-minute looks like it's consolidating the breakup. So it seems like the 5 minutes found support at 15:02 around there, and it's bouncing around. So if it breaks that again, then buy stop's valid. But if we get if it holds this support, it should fly right back up.
EJ's still going.
EJ's
moving nice.
Come
on, baby.
Let's
Come
see.
on, baby. Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. It's run up now.
Yeah, see this
I love when somebody's full margin. It's like, they should have like different like sound animations that you can like edit that. You can't.
When it comes to this, don't do it.
You're gonna get stopped out.
I could just make my like an audio clip of my own voice, and then whenever I click a buy or sell, I'll just be like, rack it up.
I would like to use the Homer Simpson. Don't.
Yeah.
Let's go gold.
103.
Yeah, this is gonna. No, this is.
This is scary.
Yeah, this is fucking
We just
scary.
need the 15-minute candle to pop up a little bit higher, and then we're okay. Because it literally.
Yeah, this is on. Yeah, on the zone.
It literally bounced back up into the range, so we need it to like continue on its way.
Yeah, the concern for me is that it's just retesting the area that it broke out of on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
That's a little bit dangerous for me. It said if it breaks strong into like 1505, then you should be good, but
If it holds here, we should be good. The 5-minute did break up, so that's a good sign. I'm thinking the next 5-minute candle should do its damage all the way up. I assume all the way back into nice higher level there. But we'll see.
100 pip 5-minute candle, that's what we need.
Yeah, pretty much. Go right to 1506 and then we'll be done.
Yeah, but
1507 the main range area?
Yeah, I'm thinking between 1504 and 1506. There's a nice pocket there that we should probably go back to, and that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for 1506. So it should be okay. We'll see what happens. I'm not concerned yet. I would be concerned if gold drops to 1502, then I'll be concerned. But if it doesn't drop there, then I'm not concerned. So,
I see it pushing up now. Yeah, I'm hoping.
I think we're fine. I'm not
Yeah,
worried.
yeah.
I've seen this happen all the time. It's just fun to watch it bounce around.
Yeah, it's fun to just watch Ted come on the stream and say gold's gonna go up, and then it just starts to go up.
It just always happens.
Like a quick phone call.
Yeah, that's all I gotta do. Hold on, I'll be back in a second. Quickly change it. Yeah.
Don't let it go below 1502.
We're gonna see that push at 9:30 again.
Yeah, well, I think, like I said, as long as we hold over here as long as we don't drop below 1502, we're good. If we get to 1502, then I would look to close. Like, I think at this point a good stop will probably be around 1502.70.
How was that?
Yeah, what was that?
Someone laughing at that stop loss.
Fix that audio.
Oh, broker calling. Broker calling. Sir, your margin has ended. Do you want to hold?
You need to add more money to your account, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Sir, please stop.
I was just about to say that. Dude, I remember back in the days, dude, when I was blowing accounts and it's almost blown, I used to make a credit card deposit.
Yeah, that was apparent.
Roll can just stop where it is and carry on now. That'd be great.
That's why I said, I was like, oh, really? Am I going to get stopped out? And then it's like, oh, it just went the other way. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Nearly considered moving it then or something. Maybe just a little bit low, but.
I just have a feeling we got in a little too early, and now we have to go through the trouble.
Yeah. 9:30 is far away.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Well, it's just the thing is like the 5-minute candles are holding support.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's like you just need one 5-minute candle to break out of that 5-minute range and then create a new support like around 1504. If you can get a support created at 1504 and bounce off of like 1503.70, then you're good.
No.
It's just we're in a little too early, and it's like that scary part where it's like, you know, when a lot of times you see these trades, they happen like this, and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have gotten in at the bottom. We're in at the bottom because we called the bottom, and it's like now we're struggling through the traffic there. That's all. So I've just seen this happen so many times where it'll just fly up in the next like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and then it'll be like, okay, the trade's done.
Yeah.
We should return back into 1505 minimum.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to stay where we are, I don't think.
No. It's just funny that we're all in too early. I'm watching this. I'm like, man.
15 drawdowns.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah. See, that's the problem. We're stuck in that range right now again. You know, we were watching gold drop like an atomic bomb. No, we're hoping it goes up. Pretty much. That's what it's feeling like right now. It's like, come on.
Fuck you, just go up.
Yeah, it's just really weird that it's just bouncing at that level. Like, to be honest, it should either just plow through it or it should just hit my stop like within seconds. Like, it shouldn't be bouncing like this. Like, as much as we're watching it, it's like it should
That's
just.
what thinking to go through, because I think this was the level we had previous to.
Yeah.
At the start of the week, I think this was where we were selling from that level. I think, if I remember. And then we used it as a support.
Yeah, if this 15-minute candle stays bullish over the next 4 minutes, we should be good for the next push-up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. If not, I would.
Yeah, I think that's sort of what I'm looking at. Is if this candle finishes, if it doesn't finish strong, then I'll probably exit and take a loss. But if it finishes around 1503.70, then I think we're good. But if it finishes in like the 1503, like right around 1503 or 1502.90, then I'll probably exit. I won't trust it, because that means that we're probably rejecting 1504, and then we're going down like Simon was saying.
Yeah.
So we'll see in the next 4 minutes or so. Hopefully we hold. The 5-minute candles seem to be holding as well. So I'm not super happy, but I'm not super worried. Let's put it that way. chart whispers. Please.
Everyone went quiet.
It's motivation for gold, yeah.
That last 30 seconds, everyone's dead quiet.
Yeah, I was just like holding my breath. Come on.
Beauty of trading.
Yeah. The beauty of live trading. You get to feel all emotions as you do it. I was like, oh man, 9 pip drawdown, 8 pip drawdown. Okay, now we're back up to like a 2 pip drawdown. Okay. Like, it's funny because it'll drop like 6 pips in 1 minute and then it won't go up 6 pips. And I'm like, that's not really fair.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not fair. Like, why do you go the opposite way really hard, but not up the right way?
Never ever. Never ever.
Yeah, it's like, why aren't you just going up really fast? Oh, yeah, as we talk, that's what it does, right? Now, oh, there it goes back again.
There's so much volume, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's heart just jumping a little bit.
Yeah, I just did that again. I'm like, really? I'm like, we just talked about this. Don't do it again. Now go the opposite way that way.
This next 15 minutes is gonna explode.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this. I was hoping this 5-minute candle would finish a little bit stronger, but it doesn't look like it is. Oh, maybe it is now.
Yeah, but it hasn't. Yeah, it has.
Oh, there it goes.
We'll
just talk to the charts.
We'll get a news report now saying Chinese have walked out talks and it will...
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, oh, okay, so this 15 minutes should be pretty good. If we should get this push for the 15 minutes.
Yeah, Trump started to be active on Twitter about retweeting and stuff, so no, just at the right time.
So fucking cold.
It's even worse because the actual candle movements are smaller and smaller.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like the.
Yeah. Not actually moved anywhere.
No, they haven't. It's just been this little tiny range at 1503. I think worst case we're in too early. That's the problem. And so I hate doing that, getting in too early. But I thought we were gonna pop up above 1503 and hold, but it seems like it's bouncing around.
Yeah, once that last candle, that full candle back, you want. And to be fair, neither of the last candles exceeded that depth, so.
That's true. Yeah, the 5 minutes holding support, so I think we're good. You guys are looking for longs, but on the daily 4 hour, the time frame is biased is bearish. Yes, but what we're anticipating is because so this is the idea, the reason behind the trade, because the news pushed the market down so hard. All we're doing is we're trying to get that pullback all the way back up into the range again. Because it didn't make sense that the news pushed it down that way. That was the only reason why we took this trade. Well, I took this trade. I don't know what everybody else's rationale is, but that was my rationale. And I believe that we'll pop up to 1506 again to go back into the range. And once we go to 1506,
I think right now.
Yeah, what's New York open? 9:30.
There we go. All right.
There you go. Yep. 9:30. And you're gonna see like a big push up. Pushing.
Yeah, I'd like that 15-minute candle to continue to push, though. I don't want it to do a hard push up and then pull back, because that means we might be pulling down. But
yeah.
This happens again.
Just waking up and.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're in too early. That's my biggest fear right now. It's not that it's not going to go up, it's just we're in too early and we have to go through this crap. Probably the next hour would have been a better candle to get into, but we'll see.
I think this would be a nice entry with the stop loss above, under the last 15 candle. 15
Oh yeah,
candle.
yeah. Like I think if you're looking at entries now, I think anything above 1504.50 would be great. Like if you take an entry above that.
Yeah.
Because if this 15-minute candle goes bullish hard, it's going to go right back into 1505, 55. That's where I anticipate it going. What should I do, guys? I'm not in the trade. Well, that's very good. You don't have to worry about it then.
Like someone knows you're in buys and they're just torturing us, just pushing down.
Oh, I have my stop, so I'm not too concerned. I've moved my stop to 1502.21. That's where my stop is for this trade. In case this 15-minute candle decides to barrel down, that's my stop is.
Have mine at 1502 flat.
Okay. So I don't really care what happens at this point. This is interesting because the idea here would be that this is created support, and that this will then bounce out of this area here, will bounce out of this area here, and then we'll continue up. That's sort of my idea. The 15 minutes.
Yeah, makes sense.
This was the final liquidity tap. Like this area here would be a final liquidity tap before we push away.
There's also a support on the looking left. There's sort of a support.
5 minutes close bearish.
Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes not looking good because that massive whip up on the 5 minute was the pull down. We might, if we don't hold this support, we're gonna break into that level, and that's it. So we'll see. Yeah. And we're coming close to the New York gold.
Yeah, I'm staying away from gold. I just bought GG instead. You guys have fun with this shit.
We are having fun.
I could hear all your heartbeats,
I'm not really risking much. I have my one position open and that's it. I'm okay. Why do you think that gold won't fall again if doing a retest? I never said it won't fall again. I'm just saying that if it bounces into that zone, it might bounce out and then go further up, or you know.
I just want to close my position. It's hard to watch this.
If you watch it on a 30 minutes, it doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, you watch it on the hour, it doesn't look bad.
Just watch it, nothing's happening.
That looks really good.
Yeah, exactly. Rejection, don't worry. I'm happy that we just tapped into that zone and pulled hard out of it. That's actually really good for us.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting buy down there, but
yeah, I should have taken another position when I was in the drawdown down there.
It's all in or nothing.
Yeah, full margin.
Yeah,
it's coming. It's coming. Trust me.
Yeah, it's easily coming.
GJ's about to pop here.
Ted, we need to stop stacking trades.
Yeah, exactly. I should have put more positions in.
You should go full margin, basically 1 million for 10.
That's right. Yeah.
Reasonable.
Put like 1,000 lots on right now. Yeah, guys, don't worry. I'm only in a $2 million drawdown.
Nothing too much.
All of my $500 with you guys. Oh, that's good. Good luck.
Oh wow. Okay.
We got a win for this guy. Oh man, now I'm really stressed. Before I wasn't stressed. Now I'm stressed. People are full margining their account on this buy.
I wouldn't take full margin on this trade.
I actually took a little bit of risk and got a bit early on the actual drop in the first place.
Oh man, I wish I would have taken a buy on that last 5-minute candle.
Yeah, just for the record, I'm in no trades right now.
Yeah, Rakeel's not in any trades. He's watching the carnage.
Yeah, I'm just watching this.
Wise man.
We're all watching this carnage right now. Oh. Everyone's hodling gold, hodl. It's like you can exit at any time. It's okay. You don't have to be a hero. Like, I mean, I'm looking at my trade right now. If it keeps bouncing into that zone, I might exit as well early. It's no big deal.
Yeah, this 5-minute close bearish, and it's looking like it will.
Oh yeah, weren't you in gold sell yesterday?
Hey.
Who was it? Daniel? Or
Come on down.
the one that I was in with the Asian session?
Yep, stop it.
Ooh, looks like
Yep.
Looks like this thing is heading down.
Daver. Daver?
No. Yeah.
Count blown.
Weren't you full margin sell yesterday?
No, yeah, that was on demo account.
Oh.
I didn't want to play on live, so I go on demo and do whatever I want.
You would have made bank. You would have made.
Oh man, now it's going back up.
You're still in.
Oh, we took a loss.
Check to see how many viewers are now on YouTube.
Yeah, we just lost 100 people.
I want to turn it tomorrow. I want us to menu now.
That's right.
Ooh, Gigi's playing games too with people. Look at the 15-minute candle. Still in.
Raja, surprised you're not in GJ.
DJ's a mess as well for me.
Really?
I don't know. It's not clean at all. All them wicks at the top, like, screw that.
Yeah, GJ's gonna go up. The 4-hour made a bottom wick to fill the top wick.
I think gold is forming a new range.
Perhaps.
Roham!
I mean, it just did a perfect break and retest on the 1 hour.
Yes. It's going downtown.
But the question is it going to break through, like, what, this low at, what, 1498, is it?
Oh yeah, this person sent this chart over here. Makes sense. Makes sense because now this is McDonald's arch.
Yes.
Yes. It's a 10 pip drop, 10 and then potential 24. जी बड़े भाई.
Not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have formed before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath. Our forebears prescribed.
Oh, what's this? Oh, I thought Joseph Burns sent me a message. Joseph Burns from Instagram. Oh yeah, no, it's not him. I was like, oh, what does he want from me?
Oh, EJ breakout 680.
Oh my God, EJ. GJ is finally.
Yeah, man. If I really hold that buy yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, if GJ stays above this level now, it should continue on till 131.900. The previous 15-minute close with no bottom wick, which means there's no range for the next one to go down. It's about to close. 30-minute candle is about to close.
But it's just look at all that resistance there, though.
Exactly, mate. That's the
Too
whole
dangerous to be
problem.
taking buyers now.
Big problem.
Yeah. I would take sales maybe with this.
I mean, every time it's looked like breaking up, it's come straight back down again.
I think the goal is to push up this resistance.
I know.
They go down. Fucked us up.
It did. I'm not very happy with that 15-minute candle. It literally tapped my stop and pulled up.
Yep. And 1 more minute before 9:30, so
I know.
it could just flip up.
Well, it's probably just a bit too early, mate, I think.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that. It's like, damn it. It's gonna just fly. Open at 9:30. This will be interesting to see. It just.
We pledge the loyalty of faithful friends. United, there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures.
Hey, Bobby, I see you, Bobby. That's very good.
Little we can do. For we dare not meet a powerful challenge at all.
I'm back on my ground again.
That's the 9:30 candle I was waiting for.
Look at that 15-minute candle, mate. Look at that retest.
Yeah.
Simon has probably sells right here, and he's thinking, "Oh, these guys are looking for buys." It's been sell all along, mate. That's what Simon's saying right now.
He doesn't care. He's in profit. So.
Oh yeah, it's Simon. Simon is on SMBFX right now. Look. Where is he?
By riding the back of the tiger, ended up inside.
Get the wick fill on the hour.
Yes.
To those people in the huts and villages of half the country, struggling to break the bonds of mass misery,
15 and
our best efforts to help them help themselves.
coming down to 15:01.
For whatever period is required.
I'm gonna head off.
Take
Enough
care.
for me.
Have fun.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be profits. Today is losses.
Ooh.
One trade. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
Very nice.
And gold is dropping.
Yeah, cut.
Oh,
Oh, whoa.
Oh, we should sell.
Yeah, I caught these. I caught these
Thank
gold
God
fills.
I'm out of my trade.
Don't sell now.
Yeah.
Simon was quiet.
We should sell on 15:04.
Yeah, I caught these
great
sales here.
edge. Retest and then down.
There's a pull all the way back now.
40 pips, yeah.
1500 tapped.
Yep, tap this.
Well,
Yep.
that was great.
It will go.
Such
I
a
see.
nice trick test.
Yeah. I sold at 15:02.27.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was targeting that range there.
I'm holding a buy, Mr. Ted.
Forex trader. Oh,
This is so strange though. It makes no sense to me why gold's dropping like this.
Yeah.
Data was poor. They're waiting on, unless they're expecting something to be released negative later, and this is just going to retrace all the way back.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't understand why this is dropping. Fundamentally, this doesn't make sense. I mean, technically, we're now at the bottom of the range.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't think we were going to go all the way and dip into it. I figured what my thought process was at this point was when we had that news and it dropped it, that this would hold sort of support, and then, you know, as we started to hold here, that we would continue up, and then what happened is it broke down. So I guess the news was not really a factor. There wasn't, like, it was irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. Yeah, I don't know the reason for this drop. But
Maybe they're planning an announcement or something. What's the word? I can't see anything on the news yet.
Yeah, I got out of GJ here as well because it's really struggling at this area. Problematic.
This is when people are trying to buy gold when it's at support and it's gonna fuck you in the ass.
I see EJ moves more than GJ right now.
Man,
Holy
anyone?
pep, 1498.
Yeah, I think it will bounce from this now. It shouldn't go. It shouldn't go down.
Don't bank on it.
The sell was from here, 15, like from this area till down to this range. This was just a bonus move now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've just tapped the bottom of the range on the 4 hour, so question is it going to break further? Be surprised, but you never know.
Oh, another one called.
Someone just called me out. Get out of the trade.
Carry your cannons.
Yeah, long. Full margin long now on gold. Let's go.
But
institutions are calling.
Full margin gone. Ooh.
Alright, everybody, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna save everyone some troubles.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Rakeel.
Alright,
you.
take care.
See ya.
Loving it.
Wow, who's blowing in the mic?